The story is about a day in the life of a second grader. Our story starts out like any other day. A school bus pulls into the school driveway on time, carrying a bus full of eager students for another day of school. This is a special day. We are going to write about the day in the life of Sydney, a second grader. She is the one with all smiles in the fourth row. The bus carries a special cargo every day. The cargo of students who attend Grant Elementary School. As you can see, this student is excited to be going to school. Sydney's second grade teacher, Mrs. Morganti, welcomes the students to another exciting day of learning. It is another cold, brisk morning in Ohio. The students are eagerly waiting in line to enter the warm building. Once in the building, the students walk quietly down the hall to their classroom. The students take off their coats and hats and carefully hang them up. Sydney and the other students make a special effort to be sure everything is hung up and will not fall. The students take their supplies out of their desks and prepare to do some bell work. Organizing your folder for today's classroom work takes time. Sydney is getting hers ready. Their bell work today is subtraction, using one number. They need to finish quickly so that they may go on to today's first lesson. Sydney works as fast as she can. She knows that today they have a lot more to learn. Sydney's job this week was to keep track of which students brought their lunch and who are going to buy. Sydney is writing down the total number of students that are buying or bringing their lunch today. To honor our country, every morning the students say the Pledge of Allegiance. The principal and one of the students make the morning announcements. The school's theme this year is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Only the best rooms each day receive a golden ticket award. The students are playing a fun spelling game called Sparkle. All the students want to play. The last one standing is the winner. Sydney helps pass out one of the lessons for today on fractions. Each student will have to cut and paste during this activity. Mrs. Morganti uses the smart board to teach about fractions. The students follow along using their workbook and handouts. Mrs. Morganti prints out handouts to help with each lesson. All the students quickly cut out the fraction that Mrs. Morganti is showing them. "Good job, class," says Mrs. Morganti. The Everyday Math program uses 21st century learning skills to help students learn the skill. They learn not only how, but why they are doing this lesson. The class is learning about fractions using problem-solving ideas. This hands-on activity is making learning much more fun. Sydney is very busy cutting out her fractions so that she may paste them in her workbook. Each student works to make their fractions identical to what Mrs. Morganti is showing them on the smartboard. The students take great pride in making sure their fractions are just the right size. Learning can be fun. The class has one of its specials today called music. The students are very excited to learn about reading music, listening, and keeping a beat. The music teacher, Mrs. Aldeno, makes each class in music fun. She explains how the students may keep a beat with an instrument she has handed out. The students come up to the smartboard and show what they have just learned. They not only listen to music, they learn how it is created. Sydney is using the smartboard to answer a question about how many beats to a measure. Way to go, Sydney! The class lines up to go to their next special, gym. Second graders are always busy and involved in exciting activities that make school and learning fun. As the class walks through the hall to gym class, they are reminded they must be quiet in the halls. Sydney does her part with hand signals. In gym class, the students have fun doing many activities together, such as kickball, dancing, and balancing, just to name a few. The next learning activity is in the computer lab. Here they learn at the speed of thought. Their teacher, Mrs. Morganti, walks around and helps where she is needed. Sydney is on a website that will allow her to review the lesson on fractions Mrs. Morganti taught today. It is great to learn using the computer as a guide. On Sydney's computer screen, she has to place the fractions in the correct order from smallest to largest. Good job, Sydney! After computer lab, they listen to the librarian read a short story to them. Learning never seems to end, but takes on many different forms throughout the day. 3 second grade classes meet to read together and review one of their stories called Jalapeno Bagels. This activity is not only fun, but they get to share ideas and learning. The 3 second grade teachers work together to make sure all classes are doing the same lesson at the same time. Back in the classroom, the students are working on an art project. They are making hats for St. Patrick's Day. The whole class works well under the teacher's direction. There are many activities in one day, and all are fun to do. Lunchtime, yay! A great time to chat and talk to your friends about what is going on at home and in school. What did Mom pack for Sydney to eat today? Let's see. Could it be a ham and cheese sandwich? Or could it be good old peanut butter and jelly? The students dress warm for recess. In Ohio, it is cold this time of the year. Sydney is going to jump rope, while some of the other kids play with the hula hoop. Several of the other second graders are playing hopscotch. They're having a fun time, and you can see the snow on the ground, so they all wear their coats to keep warm. After recess and lunch, the students head back to class. Who do they find but Officer Bubba? They discuss safety tips. They talk about strangers and always being careful. After Officer Bubba leaves, the students play the fly swatter game. This is a vocabulary game using synonyms from the story they just read. The first student who hits the correct synonym wins. The class is getting ready to play beach ball review for the test on the story they just read, Jalapeno Bagels. The end of another great day of learning in the second grade. Sydney is packing up her book bag and getting ready to go home. Sydney had learned a lot today. She kept that smile on her face the whole day too. She had fun and she knew the reason why she was in school, to learn. Off she goes to catch her bus, number 56, to take her home. She likes her bus driver because she takes her safely to and from school. Grant Elementary School is Sydney's happy place, and she will be back again tomorrow.